Hello and welcome to my third Minecraft video. My name is Izzy the Tiger, and this is a bit of a departure from my survival series. As you can see, we are inside Patronville on Relaxing ASMR's realm, and I have some work that I need to do, so let's get to it. We're currently standing on the back terrace inside my house, but let's go downstairs. And my mail light is on. So, let's go to the post office. And it looks like I have some mail from Crazy Legs. Now, Crazy Legs is the CEO of L.A.B.S. It's a very mysterious corporation, and to be quite honest with you, I really don't know what they do. But let's read what he has to say. Okay. So this is the second part of a message that he sent me a couple days ago. He built a subway station inside L.A.B.S. City, and I was going to connect it to the city subway line, but I couldn't find his station. So he marked his station with a bunch of diamond blocks stacked on top of each other. So let's head over to L.A.B.S. City and find his subway station. And there is the diamond tower. Well, this is pretty cozy. So this is the room where eventually there will be a subway going through this into another subway station that is almost below this. So we're going to check the coordinates of this station, or this room in particular. And we are on level 50. And the track will terminate on 377 by 1472. So let's write that down for future reference. So (377) by 1472. Okay. what we're going to do now is we're going to head over to that other subway station and we're going to build a subway. But first, let's get rid of this. We don't really need it any longer. Maybe we'll light this platform. Alright, so let's head over to City Hall and take the subway over to that station. The line to this station is in the lower level. And I don't see a minecart, but we are in creative mode, so we can fly there. I originally built these subway lines entirely out of bedrock, but after riding in them, I started to experience some vertigo, so I changed out the floor for something a little more neutral. And here we are at the old shipwreck station. There used to be a shipwreck above this station, because above this station is the ocean. But during the Phase 2 expansion of Patronville, I had to demolish that shipwreck to make room for city lots. So I named this station after that shipwreck as a way to remember it. And some of you may recognize this station because Relaxing ASMR and also I think it was either Crazy Legs or Trevor that cleared this abandoned mine shaft and some caves. Or actually, it might have been Cosba. I can't remember right now. But yeah, we cleared this mine shaft and cleared some caves and had a lot of fun. But upstairs is an unfinished subway shaft. And this subway is going to terminate in the L.A.B.S subway station we were just in. So in this video, we are going to build that subway. So let's see what level we're on. We're on level 40. And we're at 462 by 1444. and we need to get to 377 by 1472, 10 blocks higher up. So we actually need to go back. So I think what we're going to do is, what is this? Okay. Yeah. So we're going to build up to level 50, and then we're going to turn around and head back. And now we're on level 50. So we can start sprucing this portion of the shaft up. This may look kind of tight, but there is enough room to ride down here on a minecart. Actually, we'll do it one block more. There we go. Now we can do the walls. One more. And this could be ugly. The ocean might come rolling in on us. So let's just block that up for now. And yep. I thought I saw some water. Let's see. Yes, indeed. So let's break this. And how... yeah. Okay. So let's just put some cobblestone here. Because I need to get rid of this sand. And this sand as well. And I don't want to have to... Okay, there we go. That's... might be a bit of a problem too. So let's just... put some cobblestone here. And there. Good. So now we can light this up. We don't need those. Oops. Okay. So now we'll go this way. Or actually, we'll go this way. And we'll just go single wide for now until I get to the spot that I need to be, which is 377. I'd like a torch. dear. Why is there so much? What is this? An elevator, just something. Wonderful. Now, we need to block that up. And block all of this up. See, this is the problem when you're trying to build a subway in an already developed area. You have to work around everything that's already there. So all of this is more or less useless. We need to go down to about here. Should work. And we will build... Okay, so... 1... that way. Let's just fill in the area that we're not going to use anymore. And let's try this again and hope that we don't run into any elevators or existing railways or anything else. Okay, so we need to be at 1472. So we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to go 2 blocks high, single wide, make sure there isn't anything that we're going to destroy if we do end up making the subway tunnel here. And I have a feeling we're going to run into something. $14.72. All right. There we go. So we're not going this way. That much is very plain and clear. We're going to go this way, and starting here, we are going to go down to level 46. Okay. Okay, so this is 369. So let's go back down the exploratory shaft and mine it to 369. Alright, so now we can mine this straight to the subway tunnel. And now we can close this tunnel up. So now let's mine this out. This may very well be the last subway that is constructed. We have 4 lines. We have one that leads to the 5-star ravine that features a mining outpost, a zombie farm, a spider farm, and the old gold tower spawners that were buried beneath the baseball stadium. There is a tunnel to those spawners at the 5-star ravine. And Relaxing ASMR recently did quite a lot of work to those spawners, and they look very, very good now. Not to say that they didn't before, but he's really brought them up to par. There is a subway to the eastern ravine, which also has a mining outpost and an abandoned mine shaft. And that was the abandoned mine that R and I cleared in his video where he showed clips from the realm before he made his first realm video. Now, all of those mining outposts still have all of the loot in the walls of the mines. We didn't touch those. So if you want to go and mine in those outposts, you will get very, very wealthy. See, all of the mining outposts that we built here in Patronville, we built with the players in mind. We never intended to do any of the mining ourselves. We wanted to leave that up to the players. And mining is no fun unless you do it in survival mode. So, being a safety fanatic, I wanted to ensure that there were ample spaces at those mines for players to feel safe while they processed their haul. So I built outposts with everything a miner could need. Beds for sleeping, walls of furnaces, enchanting tables, ender chests, and to make it easy to get to those outposts, I built subway tunnels directly from City Hall to each outpost. So like I mentioned, the lines in the original subway station lead to the Eastern Ravine and the 5-Star Ravine. Now, the lines in the basement in the second subway tunnel, or second subway terminal, lead to the Underground Village, which is a giant underground shopping center with different stores and a food court that surrounds an underground horse racing track. The other line goes to the old shipwreck outpost, and that is a 2-story outpost, as you saw. The lower level features the line to City Hall, and the upper level features the line that we're building now to L.A.B.S. City. In order to build another subway line somewhere, I would have to first build another subway station below the second one in City Hall. Now, that's not to say that I won't end up doing that anyway, but I'm starting to run out of room. I think I could only build 2, maybe 3 more subway stations before I hit bedrock. So apart from the actual minecart track, this area is complete. So now we just have this tunnel, and that might very well be it. So let's get to work. Now that we know where we're going, we can do things a lot faster. Let's drink a night vision potion so that we don't have to rely on torches for light. So now we just have the two walls and the ceiling left to do before we put in the minecart track. I thought I saw some water droplets, but it must be just these blue bubbles. To be perfectly honest with you, there are few things that I despise more than laying block after block of the same type, in the same way, over and over and over and over and over again. But it's necessary. You see, without this subway connecting L.A.B.S. City to Patronville, we may never know what it is that they get up to. We'll be able to keep an eye on them, so to speak. I am a little worried, though, that L.A.B.S. might use this subway for bad purposes. They might... I don't even want to think about it. But Liggs is a good guy, and I trust him. part of my paranoia with labs might be in part from the council meetings I've had with the mayor, and he doesn't really know what sorts of things L.A.B.S gets up to, and he's made me very aware of that. But anybody that's willing to dispatch 350 iron golems to patrol the perimeter of our city during survival week can't be all that bad. And you'd like to think that they have the city and the realm's best interests at heart. That's what I'd like to believe anyway. But L.A.B.S has been talking about developing some very realistic robots powered by very advanced artificial intelligence. So sometimes I wonder whether or not L.A.B.S has already replaced the mayor and members of the city council with their own proprietary robots. You know, come to think of it, R has been acting a little strange over the past few weeks. I might have to look into this. But I certainly don't want to tip legs off that I suspect anything. So if all of you could keep mum about this and not tell him, I would be very grateful. Part of the reason why I may not like mining and replacing blocks very much is I mined out the entirety of the horse racing room and also leveled most of the first 3 phases of Patronville completely by hand. It was day after day of doing exactly this for hours at a time. Would be enough to drive anybody mad. What is this? We'll just sort of block this off. And these bats have a very bad habit of flying directly in front of the block that you're trying to mine. So they do get struck by the pickaxe. And most of the time it's an accident. But, you know, I know a few people that kill every bat they come across. Or most every bat they come across. And I won't name any names. I used to be one of those guys. Sad but true. But eventually, the bats started to grow on me. It was nice to know that in the murky depths of the dark caves underground, crawling with monsters and almost certain death, that you had a nice little friend that you could always count on. So we need to light this tunnel. And we'll put no. There we go. There we go. Now it's just the track. I'd also like to put some stairs down here. Oops. Good. And the way that I usually build my minecart track is by placing 5 powered rail at the beginning and then 3 powered rail every 38 blocks. So I'm just going to count, and every 38 blocks I'll lay down 3 more powered rail. But it won't be necessary here because I'll have powered rail all the way up the incline. So for the inclines, I generally use a redstone torch. It makes for a cleaner design, in my opinion, because you don't have a torch sitting off to the side of the track or a redstone block that is plain and highly visible. Everything stays nice and uniform. I used to do redstone torches underneath the sets of 3, and I did exactly that on the city trolley. Now the city trolley wasn't always as simple and straightforward as it is today. In the early days of the realm, when it was just R&I on it, I had a very complex setup. I had an inner track that circled each city block. I had a middle track that used a series of tunnels and bridges to traverse the city, and I had an outer track that went like a snake all the way around the perimeter of the city. And it worked very good. It was a very efficient design that was simple and easy to use, but in the end, R&I decided that a simple snake-like trolley throughout the city would be a better idea. And the city does look a lot cleaner without the mess of trolley track cluttering up the streets. Now, I know I don't need to put cobblestone underneath the torch. I just always do it. It's kind of a habit I've gotten into. So let's replace the stairs. We'll go and for this one I will just do this. And we'll add a button here. And just like that, the subway is finished. Let's test it. So the trick for using the button to power the rail is to hold down W while you're pressing the button. In earlier versions of Minecraft, I used to use powered rail as brakes, but in the latest version of Minecraft, they appear to have done some work on the characteristics of the powered rail, because most of the time it stops you dead, and it takes a long time to start yourself again, whereas in previous versions, as soon as you stopped, you could just touch W, touch forward, and it would move. not so anymore. So I've had to rework a lot of my survival world trolleys to fix that. And it seems to work pretty good. So let's just get out. We'll push this right up against the wall. And we'll get out. And head back to Patronville. Oh, I don't like these guys. But this isn't my city. So we'll just leave him here and let Legs deal with him. As far as I know, yeah, we're the only ones here. So there isn't any point in checking the mailbox, because there won't be anything new. So here we are back on my rear terrace of my house. And the sun is setting. And I've accomplished what I set out to do, which was to build the subway to L.A.B.S. City. So, thank you for joining me. And there will be another video posted probably in the next week where we'll go into survival mode on this realm and have some adventures. So, until then, I'm Izzy the Tiger, and thanks for watching. Happy trails.